Welcome to the Healthy Home Show. We are your hosts, Fernanda Furman, Healthy Home Architect.
Hi, I'm Eric Furman, Healthy Home Contractor.
And today we're here with Dawn Celapino. And it's an honor to have her here on our show because she's my personal friend. She is a person that I trust a lot when it comes to getting clean products and making your own clean products. And she also has a very, I'm not going to say interesting story, but she has a story that a lot of the pet owners have, but they're not aware of. That I'm very happy that she's going to be sharing this here today with the audience so we can pay more attention to our pets. So thank you for being here and welcome, Dawn.
Thank you. Who would have thought when we met at a party where I didn't know anyone there, that I met you and all this was going to happen?
That's right. Yeah, it's like 3 years ago.
I know.
3 years now.
3
oh my
years
goodness.
Ago. Yeah.
So here we are again, and thank you for being part of this.
Yeah.
It's a big help in raising the awareness.
Well, it's exciting and it's great. I've watched a lot of your interviews so far, and it's just such great information that everybody needs to know.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So let's get started. I'm going to read, for those of you that don't have the pleasure of knowing Dawn personally, I'm going to read her bio here. So Dawn Celapino is the owner of Leash Your Fitness, the only fitness class in San Diego that incorporates your dog as your workout partner. Leash Your Fitness began in January of 2009 when she wanted to leave her new pup, or she didn't want to leave her new pup at home when she went to work out. The emphasis of Leash Your Fitness is inspiring people to try a new fitness activity with their dog. Dawn has 25 years of experience in personal training, in the group fitness arena. She specializes in women's health. She has worked in both with men and women, ranging in ages from 20 to 75. Her experience includes weight loss, posture, core strength, cardiovascular flexibility, and balance training, and she's also a certified personal trainer. She holds a bachelor's degree in kinesiology from San Diego State University, and she's a silver-level distributor of Young Living therapeutic-grade essential oils. She educates people on natural ways of staying healthy and living a chemical-free life to help people and their dogs feel better. So welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So I know your story and how you got here, and I think it's very important for the audience that has pets to understand what's happening with their loved ones and what's going on, like with their health, because they don't talk. So would you please share with us the story about you and Jack?
Yeah. Hopefully I won't cry. So I got Jack in 2005, and he was like instantly my best friend. And I took him everywhere with me. He was a Cairn Terrier. And at the time I was teaching corporate fitness, and I was sneaking him into all my jobs. And one by one, they kept telling me, no, you can't bring him. So I eventually quit all my jobs, and I started taking all my personal training clients outside with their dogs, and they really liked it. So I was like, well, if you like it, other people will probably like it as well. So I started Leash Your Fitness in 2009 because basically I didn't want to leave Jack at home when I worked out, and I figured other people didn't as well. So Jack went everywhere with me. So I bought an RV, we traveled the country, we went to Canada. I started my business because of him. So he was a very important part of my life. Like, everyone knew my dog. And he was a surf dog, and we docked him, and we just did a lot of things together. And so in 2016, he had a seizure. And so it came out of the blue, like, what the heck is this? And we didn't know what was going on. So we rushed him to the vet, and, they did some tests and stuff, and nothing was coming up. We didn't know if he got poisoned or like what was going on. And then a couple of days later, he had another one. And after that, we ended up, getting the MRI, and we found out that he had a brain tumor. And I was just like, what the heck is going on? And by then I was in, business for 7 years or even longer. And what I noticed was we were losing, like, I swear at that time in 2016, we were losing like a dog a week to cancer. And some of the dogs that had been coming to our classes, and, you know, dogs are, to me, are like my kid. I mean, he was like my son. And, I mean, he went everywhere with me. And, you know, it was really, I mean, I almost closed my business down because I couldn't take all of these dogs dying. And so when it happened to Jack, you know, we went to, there was no expense that I did not, we ended up getting him cyberknife radiation, which is a special radiation that we're very lucky to have here in San Diego. But, we were, I mean, I went on the news. I wanted to educate everybody about this. And so I still get contacted from people all over the world that they find my blog and they find our news clip and all this stuff, because I was like, what is going on? Why are we losing all these dogs to cancer? And so I started like diving into doing tons of research. And what I found out was the dog's sense of smell is so much stronger than ours. So they are so exposed to all the stuff that we're, you know, that we are, you know, we take for granted, you know, what we're doing. We smell it, but we don't realize what it's doing to us. And then, so I asked Jack's oncologist at the time, do you see more dogs getting cancer? And he said, I see more dogs getting head and neck cancer than ever before. And if you think about it, it's because what they're smelling, it's what they're eating, and it's what they're smelling. And so, I mean, it was like life-changing for me. I mean, I was already healthy and I was already, you know, kind of aware of what the heck was going on, but I dove deep, really deep after that. I lost my dad to cancer. You know, I just lost my brother to cancer. I'm like, why are all these people getting cancer? I have Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune. Like, what the heck is going on? And so I like just went crazy, like trying to figure it out, and especially for the dogs. So that's kind of my story of how like all this started for me.
Yeah, no, thanks. This is a great missing link. As we were going through this series, is like, as you mentioned, and I myself having dogs and cats growing up, they're part of the family. And even more so today, you see this happening. And when you lose your loved one, your pet, whatever you want to call them, who's PC today, they're part of your family. You know, it's like losing somebody that was your brother or your sister, mom and dad, and it's tragic. And so as we started discovering what's happening to us, it's like, okay, the same thing, and maybe even more so, is happening to our pets, and why. So yeah, today we're going to be exploring how they're being exposed to toxins.
Well, dogs and cats are getting cancer younger. Puppies are getting. My friend's dog is 6 years old. He was just diagnosed with lymphoma. It's like crazy. And losing Jack was like losing my son, because I was trying not to cry.
Yeah, I get it.
With me all the time. Like my brothers and sisters, of course, I love them. I mean, and unfortunately, my brother had passed away 2 weeks prior to my dog passing away. And of course, I missed my brother more than anything, but my dog was with me all of the time. He was my entire life. And so to lose something like that, I mean, I literally grieved all last year. Like it changed my entire life. It changed my business. It changed how I traveled. It changed everything. Mm-hmm. But what was interesting about last year was I even jumped more into educating people, because it's so important. And now when someone says their dog has cancer, I'm not even surprised anymore, you know, because it's like, when's it going to happen, you know?
Right. So one of the things that there are many aspects of the house in this show. It's about, you know, like how to create a healthy home. And the reason why we're creating healthy homes, so that we can live in those spaces. And a healthy home actually is like a space. It could be your work. It could be, you know, your workspace, could be your home. It could be anywhere that you are indoors. What's important to know is like what it's the building, not just the building itself doing to us, but when people create healthy spaces, they don't understand that what you bring inside is actually impacting our lives as well. Yeah. And as you're saying, you know, with Jack, what do you think that were the most you know, the things that he was exposed the most that could have been causing, you know, cancer in the other pets. And as Eric was saying, like we worried about the kids, and pets are also very close to the floor. Their body weight are smaller, so they are, you know, they don't have the same system with their body weight that we have. So what have you seen that it's been like the most, that have been affecting them the most?
Well, the first thing I did when Jack was diagnosed was I immediately threw away all of my cleaners. And that is, if you think about it, what are you cleaning your floor with? What are you washing their bedding in? Like, what are you using that they're smelling all of the time? You know, and like I said, like, can you go in your bathroom, close the door, and use the products that you're currently using without and being able to breathe? You know, can you do that right now? Because you should be able to. Because if your dog is smelling this stuff, you know, it's like 10,000 times greater for them than it is for us. And so the first thing I did was throw away all of my cleaners, and I use and at the time, to tell you the truth, I was just using this little bottle of Thieves oil. And I literally put 10 drops of this in a spray bottle, and that's what I was using. Because I started using essential oils because I needed a couple of them, like frankincense and different things, to help him to get through his liver health and his brain health and all that kind of stuff. So I started working with a person that was helping me do more things more naturally for him. And the first thing she says is, you need to get frankincense oil for his brain health. Mm-hmm. So I did. And then, so I started getting into essential oils, and I didn't know what are these things? And as I started using them, I'm like, what are they? Because they work. And the reason I started using this Thieves oil is because of the story of Thieves. It's a really interesting story. So Gary Young, the founder of Young Living, he read this story back in the day of the bubonic plague, when all the people were getting sick and they were all dying, and nobody was working because everyone was dying and nobody had any money. The spice traders needed money, so they were going around and robbing people, and they weren't getting sick. So when the judge got them when they got caught, they ended up getting caught. The judge got them in, and he said, okay, you're either going to get beheaded, or you tell us, why aren't you getting sick? And basically they were using their spices, clove and cinnamon, and they were putting it in their bandanas. And those spices, bacteria can't live in clove and cinnamon. So those spices were keeping them healthy. So Gary Young took that information and he created an oil with it, Thieves. And so I learned about Thieves, so I started cleaning with it. I'm like, bacteria can't live in these. So it's clove, cinnamon, lemon, which is also an antiseptic, and rosemary and eucalyptus. And so I didn't know about all the other Thieves products. I didn't really know that much about essential oils at all. I just knew the story of this Thieves. So I started cleaning with it. Now it's not strong enough to like clean my bathrooms and stuff, but I was using it on my counters. It works amazing on my windows. So I got rid of Windex and all that stuff, because your dog it's so important, you know, for your dog's health. Like I said, the cleaners are so strong, and people don't realize, they think, oh, the cleaners, they have to be safe because, you know, people are selling them. That's not the truth. Mm-hmm. There's so many dangerous chemicals in cleaners, like formaldehyde. Triglycerin is an autoimmune, it's an endocrine disruptor. You know, there's all these chemicals in there that are not safe, but people think, oh, well, it's just a little amount. But if you're using a little amount here and 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 a little amount here, that turns into a lot, especially if you're using them every day.
And they're not being regulated.
No.
Another thing that people don't know, we trust, you know, the agencies to regulate those chemicals, and they're not being regulated.
They're not. And And to tell you the truth, they don't even have to put the ingredients on the label. So if you turn over like laundry detergent and stuff, it doesn't even tell you what's in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the words that they are in it, you can't even pronounce them anyhow. But people don't realize even chlorine and bleach, what it's doing to you. It's so bad for your lungs. And so many people are having allergies and they have respiratory issues, and they're like, I don't know why I have asthma. Well, what are you using what are you cleaning with? I mean, let's get back down to the basics. Like, what are you using in your house? You know, like the word fragrance, just replace that word with chemicals, because all it is it's made in a lab. And the scary part about it is it's a trade secret. So as soon as they put the word fragrance, they can put anything in that and they don't have to tell us what it is. So it could be like 3,000 different chemicals that they're putting in there, and they don't have to tell us what it is. So like candles and air fresheners, all that stuff, it's just putting all this fragrance into the air, and it's all chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty scary if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And so thanks again to Dawn. She was instrumental in helping us change our habits and change our products. So it is possible, and it's not difficult, and it's pleasant. There are other ways. And so you are making some of your own products as well, right? And then you're buying some, and kind of combination of both. So
yeah, because you can use like baking soda. I buy this at Costco. I buy big bags of it like this at Costco. I don't even know how much it is. It's, I don't know, $5. You can do so much stuff with it. So like we have I'm renting, so we have carpets here. So this is a mason jar. I literally listen, I am not crafty at all. It has to be easy or else I'm not going to do it. I literally poked holes in this with a nail and a hammer. I put baking soda in this, and I put some of my essential oils in it. And so I put citrus fresh, and I put peppermint, because ants and fleas and stuff like that, they don't like peppermint. So I put that in there. Voila. You don't need carpet fresh with all the fake fragrances. Okay. That's baking soda. So again, I use baking soda in my bathroom for the abrasive stuff. I put baking soda down, and now I use a thieves cleaner, because the thieves cleaner has a little bit more stuff in it than just this oil. And I use this in a spray bottle. This is the big bottle, but you only need a cap, and I put it in a spray bottle. This is just water in a spray bottle with a cap of this. And I spread some baking soda down, spray this in it. Voila, it's done. And the cool thing about this cleaner is you only need this one bottle does everything. Like I literally walk around my house with this one bottle cleaner. I do the windows, the dusting, my countertops, the bathroom floors, everything. I don't need a separate cleaner for everything.
Love it.
So, I mean, I didn't have any problems throwing away all my cleaners. And what I tell people is when they're like, well, I'm going to use up the rest of my cleaners before I get something like this, I ask them, if a doctor gave you a medicine that made you sick, would you say, oh, I want to keep using it until I use it all up because I don't want to waste it? Because that's what these cleaners are doing to us. I mean, if nothing else, get rid of your cleaners, because it's to me, it's criminal what they're allowed to put in them.
So that is so true, because I actually did a live in the group a while ago that I got a hand soap from Target from a company that's supposed to be amazing. And the label says, no this, no that, all those no's, and it looks clean and made with essential oils. So without looking at the back, I bought the product.
Because you trust the marketing.
I trust the marketing. So when I got home, 2 or 3 days later, I love reading labels. That's just how I am. Like I'm doing nothing, I'm reading a label. And then I saw essential oils plus synthetic fragrances, a blend of synthetic fragrance. So even though they said on the front that it's non-toxic, it is toxic, and they're allowed to do that.
So
And,
this sets up,
what's even scarier is, you know, like even when you go to the store and you think you're buying essential oils because you're trying to get rid of the chemicals and buy essential oils, most of the essential oils in the store, they can put whatever they want in it. And anything that says natural, that is just, it doesn't mean anything anymore. And unfortunately, even the word organic is starting to not mean as much now as it used to. But the brand of essential oils is so important. And I hate it now when I go somewhere and see that. Like, and they're using it because essential oils are becoming so popular. So I was at Costco the other day and it says an air freshener with essential oils. And the same thing, you turn it around and it's like all this synthetic fragrance. And unfortunately, like the essential oils that you get in the stores, they're not like this brand, like Young Living's, because if you don't distill an oil the correct way, you're not going to get all the constitutes out of it that you need. So, you know, like these are like
blenders and fillers.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they can. It only has to be 5% organic for them to even say organic. That's what I'm saying. To me, I remember I was teaching an essential oil class once, and the lady said, "Well, I have one that's all natural, but I was diffusing it, and it put a film on my wall and clogged our vents, so my husband won't let me diffuse it, use the diffuser anymore." And I'm like, well, that tells me right there that there's synthetic agents in there, because I've been using my oils for 2 years and I've never even cleaned my diffuser. Like these oils aren't going to do that, because literally they're taking the plant, they're distilling it and putting it in the bottle. It's just the plant. There's nothing else. But a lot of the oils in the stores, what they do is they're either watered down, so they're distilled long enough to get the scent, but they're not distilled long enough to get all the properties out of the plant that you need for it to be like therapeutic. Or they're adding synthetic things in there, even though it says just the oil. Unfortunately, even if they add a little tiny bit, they don't have to list it on the label. So you really have to trust the company that you're working with.
Absolutely. So, we talked a little bit about this, and there's a term now, paralysis analysis. So as you start to open Pandora's box of, oh my goodness, what do I do? If you had to name like the top offender, or maybe the top 2 or 3 in your house that you could just today basically eliminate, that would make a vast difference in the quality of the air, or reduce the amount of chemicals in your house that your pets and yourself are exposed to, what would you say that would be? Maybe
easy. Definitely first thing, cleaners. Definitely the cleaners for sure. Second thing, air fresheners. Air fresheners, especially the ones you're plugging in, they're right at the dog's height. So they're just zapping out all that synthetic fragrance right at your dog's nose. So any of those, and even candles. I hate to tell people this because everyone loves their candles, but it's that fragrance. So anything that's throwing out that scent in your home, it's all fake. It's all fake scent. So, I replaced all that with a diffuser with essential oils, so that way I can switch up my scent. And then the dryer sheets. The dryer sheets are a big one, because dryer sheets, even the unscented ones, are putting a chemical on your clothes. So your dog's bedding, you're washing your dog's bedding, and then you're putting dryer sheets in there, and it's putting this chemical all over it, all over the bedding. It's putting on your clothes. And the lady that taught me about the dangers of that, she gets these dryer balls, and these are alpaca dryer balls. And what happened to her was she was waking up congested every day with headaches, and she couldn't figure out why. And then when she started researching dryer sheets and seeing what's on dryer sheets, she realized they're not only putting a film on your clothes and on your dog's bedding, but they're putting a film on your dryer and on the thing that you pull out. So it's a fire hazard. So even the ones that are unscented, they still have a chemical on them. So those are the 3 main things: is the cleaners, the air fresheners, and the dryer sheets, definitely. And of course the laundry detergent, like all the laundry stuff. But because you're washing your clothes in it, and these are things that you're wearing. And so I see this all the time, that people have allergies, they have asthma, they have all this stuff going on, and they're taking all these meds, but they're like using all these chemicals. It's like, you guys, you're paying all this money for meds, or you're, getting all these side effects from all these meds you're taking, which just get rid of your cleaners, get rid of all this stuff that's causing it. Let's get to the root of the problem.
Yeah. So you mentioned at the beginning that you're renting, and there are a lot of people that are listening right now that are renting, and there are a lot of things like, for example, they don't have the alternative to change the carpet and put another flooring that is non-toxic. So what we wanted to encourage people to do is not just look, there's some things you can't, but there are things you can. In every step forward, every step you take, it's a step forward. So for me, I have a hard time making things like you're saying, like, making products or being creative on that way. But having the help, like having your help, being like, okay, I know that if I need to do something, I can ask Dawn how to do it. And I know you have created so many products. I have been to some of your classes where you teach us how to create our own, hand lotion, and you do so much in terms of education. And I really recommend people that are using, high quality oils, that are using Young Living, that are thinking about using oils, that Dawn has a website and a Facebook group, where she goes live and she teaches people how to create their products. It's very engaging. A lot of people share information in there. To me, that is a place that I go when I want to create something new. I always do that, my search in there. Now there is, and you were also mentioned something about trusting the brand. There's so much greenwashing happening right now that if you could explain to the audience, what does that mean? That would be great.
Well, okay, first of all, and I'm a personal trainer, so I always teach everybody this about even nutrition. Never read the front of a label, ever, because all it is marketing, and they can say anything they want on the front, okay, within reason. Turn around and look at their ingredients on the back, because they can say, like you just said, they can say anything on the front. It's, they're gonna say anything on the front that's gonna sell you that product. And then a lot of them make the labels look all green and healthy and all this stuff. And then you turn around the back and there's all this stuff in there, that shouldn't be in there. And unfortunately, people don't know what these words even mean. Like lauryl sulfate is a big one. And that's a foaming agent. So everybody wants everything foaming, their shampoo, their hand stuff, everything. They always want it foaming. Well, that stuff that's making it foam like that is called lauryl sulfate. And it's a foaming agent, but it's also an irritant, and it's an endocrine disruptor. So that's why so many people are getting cancer and autoimmune and all this stuff. It's because all these chemicals. So they say what they want to on the front, but it doesn't mean anything. So turn it around and look at the back. And that's but unfortunately, like even this thieves cleaner, you see these words and you're like, what the heck do these things mean? I looked up every one of these things, and it's all like the stuff in here is all like plant-based stuff. But if like the code words like lauryl sulfate or phosphates, they put phosphates in a lot of stuff, and that's linked to cardiovascular issues. A lot of this is really related to a lot of respiratory issues. Mm-hmm. But the greenwashing is a big problem. And this is another huge problem, is all these companies that you think that you can trust, they're all getting bought out by the bigger corporations. And that's a huge problem. I just did a whole post in my oil education group about that. Like all these things that you think that, oh, I can trust this company. Even like Annie's. Annie's is a big one that comes to mind in the food industry. Like you think, oh, Annie's organic. It was bought out, I think, by Pepsi. So unfortunately, you have to know and trust. And like with me, with the essential oils, I had no clue what I was doing, but I worked with someone that I totally trust. And then what happened was then I wanted to dig deeper for myself. So I went to Utah. I went to their farm. I saw how they did everything. I went to where their labs were. I saw everything, the entire, even when you call in and ask questions, I went there and saw how they did everything, because I wanted to know for myself how the heck these things work so well, so, and you can't do that with any other company. You call like Now Brand and it Sprouts and you say, hey, can I come to your farm and see how the plant, no, there's no other company that you can do that to. That's why I totally trust this company. And like what you were saying with education, that's what my thing is. Like, I love educating people, so I don't just say, here, get these oils and figure them out for yourself. I'm all about, I want you to use them. I want you to get rid of your cleaners. I want to help you, so yeah.
And you still work at the hospital, right?
Yeah, I'm a X-ray tech at UCSD.
So do you see like patients, do you have a chance to talk to them? And have you seen any improvement by, using essential oils on them?
No, because I don't use any essential oils. I wish I could. What I see, yes, I definitely wish I could, but I don't say anything. And, even at the hospital, they're spritting out air fresheners. They're cleaning with, bleach. I'm wearing a mask at the hospital for that stuff, because I go into the bathroom and they're spritting out air fresheners. Like I said, you're in the ER and they're cleaning with bleach, and that scent, I mean, it's just horrible for your respiratory system.
Yeah, so that was the point that I wanted to make, is that in hospitals, schools, I just went to drop my kid in school, and as I walked in, the smell was so strong, I start sneezing. And when you see places like a hospital where it's supposed to be healing, and they're using such, they don't allow you to use.
But some of them are starting, like one of my friends is a nurse, and they are starting to use, like she said that she works in recovery room, and one of the patients was super nauseated, and they were giving her all this stuff, and she was nauseated. They finally gave her some ginger essential oil, and she said by the time she left, she was completely fine. And the girl even commented on how the thing is with essential oils, they've been around since the Bible. It's not a fad. They're plant-based. Unfortunately, pharmaceuticals can't patent an essential oil because it's a plant, so that's why people don't think they work, but they do work if you get a good brand, or they go to the store and they buy this cheap brand and then they're like, oh, they don't work.
Yeah.
They do work if you get the right kind,
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's amazing what you can replace with them. They help with sleep and focus and so many different things. And like with the dogs, you can, like I make my own toothpaste with the coconut oil, baking soda, and the essential oil. You can do different sprays to put on the dogs. Geranium is really good for tick repellent. So there's different things that you can be doing and using. Like I said, peppermint to deter fleas and ants and stuff like that. And that's what my thing is. Like, I was introduced to oils years ago, but someone had even given me some, but I was like, what am I supposed to do with these things? Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm so into the education part of it, because I want people to use them. I want people to start replacing what they have,
Mm-hmm.
So talking about replacement, one of the things that comes to my mind talking about a hospital setting and then areas of the house that would need a bleach, what is a good replacement, an effective replacement for something like when you need bleach or you would be using bleach?
We use, I make a thing with hydrogen peroxide, some lemon oil, and what else is in that? Can't remember what else is in it. So it's hydrogen peroxide. It might even be some of the Thieves Cleaner. I can't remember the recipes in my group.
Yeah, yeah, that's what we're using too. We're using hydrogen peroxide and baking soda and Thieves and cleaning with it. And it's amazing how much clean we can get our bathroom. and smells amazing.
It smells so good. And it's funny because my friend, her name's Dawn as well. Her story is really funny is because she has this shower. They live back east and they have a basement, and they had this shower that was so dirty and they could never get it clean. They tried all this different stuff. And then I introduced her to the Thieves Cleaner, and she said she met her husband outside. He had just got back from work. She's like, "You're not going to believe this, but I finally got the shower clean." But that's what's so crazy about it is a lot of these even cleaners that they say are, you know, good, like Mrs. Myers and stuff. Yeah, they might be rated good, but they're not getting rid of like bacteria and all this stuff. So in my group, there's a chart, and it shows Thieves Cleaner and different ones, and even Clorox wipes is one of them. And the Thieves killed the bacteria better than any of them. Again, because bacteria can't live in clove and cinnamon, and that's what's in this. So
and you make your own too.
Not only is it safe for you, but you can, but it works. And what I tell people is if you opened up the underneath your cabinet and your child or your dog got in there, what would happen? What would happen if your dog chewed for, you know, not that they're going to do this, but how safe is the area underneath your cabinet?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And especially for little kids. Like, that's what's cool about this cleaner is the moms now are getting their kids to help them clean because they can, because it's safe.
Yeah.
You know?
And you make your own cleaners, your wipes too, right?
Oh yeah. So instead of Clorox wipes, and this was again, like I get a lot of these ideas from other people. This is just paper towels, a cup of water, and a cap of this Thieves Cleaner, and now I make my own wipes. And so again, it was kind of funny when we made this and we made the video. My boyfriend was helping me because we had to cut the paper towel thing in half, which is super easy to do. And he pulls a wipe out. I didn't even know I was going to do this. He pulls a wipe out and starts wiping his face with it. And I'm like, well, there you go. It shows you how safe this stuff is. He's wiping his face with the Thieves Cleaner, you know? Yeah. So it was kind of funny when that happened, but it's kind of fun, you know, and we do things as groups, and we get together and we just like you said, we made the lotion, and that body care is a whole nother topic because people don't realize what they're putting on their skin. You know, it's very scary, like what's in this stuff. And that's why we start with, and all this started with the dog. It all started with my dog, Jack, because all I wanted to do was make an environment that was safer for him. And in researching it, I found all of this other stuff, you know, that one by one, like we don't have any medications in my house anymore. We hardly even have any over the counter. We don't have anything because you can replace so many things with these natural alternatives. And the thing is, once you start replacing them, you don't need the medications as much because you get rid of the allergies and you get rid of the respiratory problems. You get rid of so many things.
Right.
One thing is a tip that we learned not too long ago is not only, as you're mentioning, replacing these products, but absolutely removing them from underneath your sink, inside of your home, and even in your garage if your garage is connected to your home, because even though that lid is on, it's still emitting the vapors from that product slowly over time, and you've basically got a chemical bomb under your sink.
Yeah, it is crazy. And I didn't explain how these dryer balls work, but the dryer balls, you put them in your dryer, they replace your dryer sheets. And what's cool about them is they kind of absorb the liquid of the dampness of the clothes. So you decrease your dryer time. So if you are using dryer balls, and because this was a problem with a lot of people, they were like, well, I still have static. The reason you still have static is you're over drying your clothes because you don't have to dry them as long with these. So you save on money on your electric bill. And then what's cool about it is you can just put your essential oil right on here, whatever you want. Like, so I use lavender on my sheets and my towels because, you know, lavender helps relax you and stuff like that. And then there's different essential oils for whatever you want to do. And you don't have to put anything on there, but So they work really well. And I like the alpaca ones because these are felted really tight so they don't fall apart. So they last forever. And they're brown. So when they roll out of my dryer, they don't get all dirty. You can't see the dirt.
Yeah. So one of the things for us too is like our mission is also to help mothers empowering their kids, because they are the new generation, and we need to educate our kids, how they can make a difference, because otherwise the way we are treating our planet, they're being left with something really bad. So when we are making products, I always involve the kids in the process. They love it.
I love it.
They love it.
I know.
And it's a great opportunity to also teach them about, those toxins in the positive way, not in a negative way.
Show them an alternative. I know one of my friends, she said her daughter was like, I think 11 or 12. And she said she's at that weird age where she doesn't really play with toys. And like, I didn't really know what to do with her. And so together. So when I introduced her to all this stuff, it was like this whole new thing. They started making like jewelry, and they started making, like you said, like the lotions and all this stuff together. And it was like this whole new thing for them to do. And I thought that was really cool. Like I didn't know all this stuff was going to happen when I started with the thieves bottle of stuff.
Yeah.
And the more I dug, and it's like, oh my God, there's like all this different things that you can do.
Yeah. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate everything you're sharing. And from what I hear is that, there are ways, even if you're renting, there are ways for you to start in your path and replacing your products, your chemical products, to safer products that's gonna, sometimes cost less than buying the big brands and buying outside. You can involve your kids, and that's going to ensure that your pets are safer at home, that we never know what's going to happen to them, but at least you're doing a part reducing their exposure to toxins.
Yeah, for sure. And definitely. I mean, for me, throwing away my candles was easy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I replace it. Like I use a diffuser. Here's my diffuser right here. Mm-hmm. And you can put in any oil that you want. So whatever you want. Like right now, everybody's sick. I'm diffusing thieves like mad, crazy. Mm-hmm. But like even your laundry detergent, like even when it was funny, the first time I got the Thieves laundry detergent, it comes in this little bottle. Mm-hmm. But the problem is you only need a quarter of a cap, So we're Americans, so we're not going to use a quarter of a cap because we don't know how to use that little amount. So you divide this bottle into like 3 different bottles, or you use one of the things if you've got it like at the Costco. You know how a lot of people use the Costco brand laundry detergent, and then you dump that out. As a matter of fact, the Costco brand laundry detergent got it in the F on the the Environmental Working Group's website, even the free and clear. So there you go with the greenwashing stuff. You think it's safe, and then you look it up on the Environmental Working Group, and it got an F. Mm-hmm. So dump that out mm-hmm. and get this because it's safer, and you can make this into either 3 of these or 1 of those, and then you just add a little bit of Thieves cleaner and different things in it, and there you go. And it's like the Thieves cleaner, it only takes a cap. I think it comes out to like less than $1, and you can do like add baking soda, and you can add different things. You can add the vinegar if you want. I don't like the smell of vinegar, so I'm not going to be cleaning with vinegar and water. A lot of people are like, well, I just use vinegar and water. And I'm like, that's fine if you want to smell vinegar, but vinegar is not going to kill the bacteria like Thieves and the other things are.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Yeah, good to know. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And Dawn has a gift that she's going to be announcing.
So if anybody wants to get started on oils, I would be more than happy to help you. Okay. You can start so many different ways. So if you want to email me, I can totally help you, and we can walk through what you need. You know, you might want to just start with the cleaners and stuff like that. If you do want to like start, you know, with essential oils, I always recommend, and this is how I started, was to get the starter kit, because then you start with all the basics that helps you with sleep and digestion and all kinds of stuff. And it comes with a little sanitizer bottle and the hand sanitizer, which I guess all the stores are running out of that right now. And I'll help you walk through all this. I have tons of education. And for anyone that, you know, wants to get started with one of these. Oh, and then you also get a diffuser with that as well. It's $165. It comes with 12 oils, the sanitizer, the hand purifier, the diffuser. So it's a killer deal, because if you bought all that separate, it would be over $300. And for your listeners, because I really want them to get rid of their cleaners, I will throw in a cleaner as well for you guys. So you'll get the cleaner. And actually this month, if you get it, you also get a lotion. You get this month, the lavender. I forgot about that. So anyhow, if you get it in the month of February, you get that. So you get the cleaner and that on top of all this stuff. So you can email me, or there is going to be a link, but
it's going to be a link on the bottom. Yeah,
there's definitely going to be a link. If you want the cleaner, I might need to walk you through how to do that. Mm-hmm. But so yeah, definitely let us know. But we would love to help you get on this more of a natural journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dawn's helped us a lot. And so thank you for your help with us as well. And yeah, I encourage you to reach out to her and
it's also like the mission. We know that they're saying we trust people's mission, and that's what we're after, you know, companies that have a mission, people that have a mission. And I know you do have a mission, and we're very grateful to be part of your group and to actually be so close to you.
I know, it's really fun. And what's fun too is it's a community and everybody helps each other. And I love that so much, that there's just people from all over the world, you know, using these products and doing all this stuff, and you learn from them. Like I learn a lot of what I'm doing from them, because I'm like, oh, I'm going to try that. Like the Thieves Wipes, you know what I mean? So that's what's cool, is because you're around like-minded people, and then you just keep feeding off of that, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's really fun. I think it's really fun.
Yeah.
I need people like you guys.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dawn.
Thank you.
Well, let me know if anybody needs any help. I'm always available.
Yeah, we're going to put a link for your group as well.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much, you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.